Can you find two goldfinches in this picture? Birds are everywhere, in trees, in the sky, hopping and walking along the ground, and in water. And if we stop, slow down, and look carefully, we can learn so much by watching them. Just look at this hummingbird in the sunlight. Can you see its wings are a blur as it comes in to take a sip of sugar water from our feeder? Sometimes we find things that birds leave behind. Here is a bluejay nest, and in it, if you look carefully, you can see the skeleton of a baby bluejay who didn't make it. We can also learn about birds from people we know, through books, and from online resources. Birders and bird watchers know a lot, and they are very generous with sharing their knowledge. Let's begin at our vernal pool sit spot, just as we do each week. Hello, writing friends. I'm so glad you're here, back at our sit spot on the side of the vernal pool where I am sitting, looking for birds and listening for birds and hearing more birds than I am seeing. This week we will be thinking about birds, and I'll be trying to draw some pictures of birds and writing about birds and thinking about the birds I have seen, the birds I love, the birds I hope to see. And I'd like to start off by reading you a book that I wrote. It's called Everyday Birds, or in Spanish, it's called Pájaros de Todos los Días. And I do not speak Spanish, so I'm going to do my very best to read a few pages of this to you in English and Spanish, and then I'll hold them up so that those of you who do know Spanish will be able to read them better than I can. This book is a scholastic book, and the cut paper illustrations are by Dylan Matrano, so each bird is made up of many pieces of paper. Everyday Birds, Pájaros de Todos los Días. Every day we watch for birds weaving through our sky. We listen to their calls and songs. We like to see them fly. Todos los días vemos pájaros volando por nuestro cielo. Los escuchamos cantar y trinar. Nos gusta verlos alzar el vuelo. Chickadee wears a wee black cap. Jay is loud and bold. Carbonero lleva una capa negra. Arandajo es audaz y ruidoso. Nuthatch perches upside down. Finch is clothed in gold. Trepador se posa boca abajo. Pinzón viste dorado lujoso. And then this book goes through many more birds. There are 20 birds here that we see around where we live. And it ends this way. Every day we watch for birds living right outside our door. We pay attention to the birds. Every day we learn some more. Todos los días vemos pájaros que vienen a visitarnos. Todos los días les ponemos atención y aprendemos a identificarlos. And at the very back, this is the whole poem, and then more information about birds. I like learning about birds. I married a man named Mark, who this book is dedicated to, and he taught me a lot about birds. And so one of the beautiful things about being a person during the springtime is that we can sit, and it does really help to close eyes when we listen. And we can hear all different kinds of birds and wonder who they are. And sometimes, if we are very still, a bird will come and will land near us. So I wish you joy in looking at birds this week, in listening for birds, and in thinking about the birds that you know and the birds that you would like to learn more about. We can sit quietly in the field, watching and listening to birds, making pictures and taking notes in our nature journals. We can also draw and write about birds when we are inside, remembering what we saw, asking questions, and learning from pictures, books, videos, and other people. Hello, 4th and 5th grade wild writers of Mamaroneck. Welcome to my front yard near my bird feeder, which you wouldn't know because I'm in this little bird blind that I made. All it is a card table with a blanket over the top. This is a quilt that is colorful on the inside, but it's just tan on the outside. And I chose this one because it's kind of naturey, and I thought it might blend in a little bit and wouldn't stand out and scare any birds. I'm trying to see more birds here because I move around a lot. And when I'm sitting out in my chair or standing and trying to sketch and think, what happens is the birds see me moving and then they fly away. So I made this little bird blind. I read about doing this in a book and I'm so happy I did. Another thing you could do, I keep seeing birds land nearby. Another thing you can do is make a bird blind from a very large box. So if you happen to have a big dishwasher box or stove box or refrigerator box, you could make a bird blind in that way. I'm a little tall for this bird blind, so you'll be more comfy in yours if you use a card table. I might try to see if I can get a bigger card table someday because it's really cozy. One tip though, I just learned it. I've tried to get a fabric. This is perfect for now, but down the road, it might be kind of neat if I could find a piece of fabric that I could cut holes in, because then I could watch birds from any side, and even this side right here. And then you would just have my little eyes peeking out. So a bird blind is a place where you can hide a little bit and hope to draw more birds in. So we are thinking about birds this week, and we learned a lot from Anthony and Irene about different kinds of birds and different shapes of bills and feathers, and how birds are like other animals and how they're different from other animals. And today, what I'd like to share with you is a couple ideas of things that you can do in your nature journal. Of course, we can always do the same things over and over. We can use those who, what, where, when, why questions. We can sketch, we can write what we notice, we can write what we wonder, we can research. You could go back and watch the Sheldrake trips from this week and take notes on them so that you pay good attention and then say, oh, that's something I have a question about, I'd like to research more about, or I think is fascinating, I would like, to jot about or to go look for myself. So we can always in our nature journals do the things from the past, but I also will share something new with you each time. So for this week, one thing that's interesting about birding is that we can watch birds and learn about birds from being in the wild or being in the field like I am right now, just sitting outside on the grass, or in a park or any place outside, or we can learn about birds from inside. So we can read books about birds. And there are so many books about birds. And the interesting thing about field guides, which is a kind of book that teaches us about things in nature. So there are field guides about birds, there are field guides about mushrooms, there are field guides about flowers, about trees, about pretty much anything you would like to learn about in nature, weather, the stars. And with birds, what's kind of neat is field guides are often organized by the color of the bird. So if you see these little color tabs, if I see a bird outside in the wild and I go to the red section here, on the side will be those tabs. Here are the red birds, right? And if I see a red bird in my yard, chances are it will be a northern cardinal. If I go to the blue section of this field guide, I might see something I see a lot where I live here, which is a blue jay. And when I see a blue jay, I notice its blueness, I notice its crest on its head, and all those pieces add up to blue jay. It matches the blue jay pattern in my mind and in the world, so I know this is what it is. So field guides are wonderful ways to learn about birds, and there are many online. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology offers so much to us in terms of birds, as do many other organizations. So I will share a couple of websites with you later. One main one, though, is the Sawmill River Audubon website. This website has the 30 most common birds you're likely to see in Westchester. So you can click any one of those, and it will take you to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology website where you can learn more. And you can see the color, and you can learn about the feathers and the bill and what that type of bird eats, and even what its songs and calls sound like. So this week, My suggestions for your nature journal. One is to learn 5 birds that live near you. So you might want to do what I did. And I'm suggesting this to everybody this week. I made a list of the birds that I know that live, let's try and hold this so you can see it, that live near me, that I can see out my window or when I walk outside. Chickadees, mourning doves, cardinals, robins, rose-breasted grosbeaks, goldfinches, bluejays, bluebirds, orioles, sparrows, Canada goose, mallards, swans, cowbirds, woodcocks or timberdoodles, red-tailed hawks, Cooper's hawks, herons, woodpeckers, hairy woodpeckers, downy woodpeckers, crows, and I started organizing them by color, and then that just didn't work so well, so I just started putting everything down there. Now, I'm going to keep adding to this list because I know there are some I forgot. People who are birders or bird watchers many times will keep a list of birds they've seen, and sometimes they keep a list of birds they look for and want to see throughout their whole lives. So I've seen many cardinals, but then there are so many birds I've never seen I would love to see, and that's, you might have what you call a life list, which is the birds that you have seen and then some birds you hope to see someday. You can keep track, and you can even have, as this bird book talks about, a bird watching club with some friends where you share, hey, I saw this bird, did you see one? Can I see your nature journal page? Did you get a good photo? Show me how you made your blind. And so that's one neat thing we can do this week, is we could say, I'm going to learn 5 birds. And I did decide, I went from my list here, and then what birds, some of these are birds I know a little bit, but I get mixed up. So I want to learn the difference between a crow and a raven. I know that crows are bigger, or crows are smaller, but they're both black, and sometimes they're so shiny and so beautiful, and they have a similar shape. I get them mixed up. So sometimes they don't have a lot of other color patterns, but I'm sure there are things that, I don't know, different from size. So that's 2, crow and raven. I also, the woodpeckers, hairy and downies, I get those mixed up. So I have a place for hairy and downy where I'll jot a couple facts or a sketch when I research. This I won't find out just from looking outside. I'll have to read about it. I will go online or look in my books here. And phoebes. Phoebe's a bird I hear the name of a lot. I hear my husband say it a lot, and I know one has made a nest in our barn many times. So I don't really know that I'd recognize one, though, in the wild. There's a chickadee right there. So we have lots of chickadees. So those are the ones I want to learn. So I'd like you to think about 5 birds you might learn, and know you can do this on your own. You can do it with family members. Totally up to you. Also, sit out in the wild and do some sketches of what you see. I have a little sketch here. I jotted. I see the chickadees taking turns on the lilac, waiting their turn to eat. They seem to work like a team. They travel in groups. How can you tell a girl from a boy? What are their nests like? And then I took some of that thinking and jotting, and I made some poems about birds today, thinking about what I'm seeing while I'm sitting and paying attention. So when you make a poem, all you need to know is a couple of things. One, don't worry about rhyming. I'm not rhyming my poems right now. I'm just writing words that go down the page instead of, I'm trying to make this so you can see it, instead of all the way across. And I'm repeating some words. I'm using what I notice, what I wonder, my feelings. We talked about how we have different feelings when we pay attention outside. Sometimes facts. What I bring in through my senses. I might compare things. Some lines might be short, some might be long. Let me read you a couple of mine. Chickadee after chickadee. Chickadee after chickadee after chickadee take turns at the feeder. I cannot tell one from the next. Chickadee after chickadee after chickadee sits in the lilac bush. Chickadee after chickadee after chickadee lives here in our town. I could watch them all day. So you could hear that repeating, right? Chickadee after chickadee after chickadee. Here's another one. I drew a little feeder there. And then I wrote, look, blue, yellow, brown, red, gray, a mixed up rainbow at the feeder today. So I do like thinking about birds in terms of color, but when they come to the feeder, they don't always come red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. That's for sure. And then I have one with 2 stanzas or 2 chunks. Well, actually 3. I added a third one. But the first 2 compare different ways of learning about birds. Learning. When I look at a bird book, I can see every color up close. The birds stay on the page. When I look at a bird outside, I can see it move, hear its voice. So quickly it is gone. Books and outside looking. A birder needs both ways. So I have another one here that I wrote about hiking, and it's called A Hiking Thought, and I drew a big owl, a great horned owl. When I walk through these woods, I imagine owls are watching me. I know they are sleeping, but I like to imagine their golden eyes following me around. I like to imagine their silent feathers held against their sides. So today's writing, as this week's writing, pick five birds to learn. Watch birds. Sit quietly. For me, the best part of this week has been just sitting and watching. Sometimes I hold my camera up very still where I know birds come, and as soon as they come, boop, I press the button and get a picture or a little video. Maybe try to do that. Just stay as still as you can. Pay attention. Let birds come to you. Close your eyes. And be changed by the birds. Happy Birding Week. I'll see you next time. Bye. No music this time. Instead, let's watch and listen to birds. Notice the beaks. Notice the feathers. Pay close attention and feel free to pause and sketch and write. Many people think of robins as a sign of spring. Did you know that a robin can find and eat up to 14 feet of earthworms in one day? You can recognize a nuthatch by the way it perches upside down on trees or feeders. Northern flickers are a type of woodpecker. They mostly eat insects that they find in the ground. The first flicker you will see is a male. You can tell by the black spots on his face. There are so many ways and places to learn more about birds. At these two online resources, you can find out about feathers, nests, beaks, calls, songs, eggs, and everything bird. It is both inspiring and calming to pay attention to our feathered friends. Write wild, Mamaroneck writers. Write wild.